So take a deep, deep cleansing breath. And just fill your lungs with that air at your own pace, whatever you need to get us started, whatever you choose that will get us started. Opening the chest so that the energy flows through our bodies. Honoring the breath as if the energy is flowing through the breath. So the more we breathe, the more we connect the breath and energy, the more we understand that we have control over that. There is always going to be a way that we can choose. Even in our darkest of times, even in the brightest of times, we can choose our thoughts, we can choose our emotions. Maybe not initially, they pop into our heads, they pop into our hearts. But once we become aware, our choice kicks in. And then we can choose to change our energy and acknowledge our breath. Just like we've talked about before, we can put those challenging emotions into clouds. We can put the energy into our breath and imagine it flowing through our bodies. Imagining that breath giving us energy and the energy promoting the breath. And when we absorb the other energy around us, whether that be from people we're with, whose energy is contagious to us, or the sights and sounds, sometimes we can get overloaded with sight and sound, and we absorb that energy. It's all about awareness. When we become aware of our mind, body, spirit, when we choose to drop into our breath, or when we choose to change our energy, we have the wisdom and the power to do so. We simply still our minds, acknowledge and become aware of the breath and the energy, and then choose. Do I need to stay in this place of challenging energy, thought, and emotion? We ask ourselves, is it serving us in any way? If the answer to that question is yes, then we might want to pause, be still, and try to understand, why are we saying staying in a place of low energy or low vibration Why is that serving us? What possible reason could we have to keep ourselves in that place? Is it habit? Does it feel good to us in some level because it's familiar? Are we getting attention for it? Or are we choosing not to use the skills that we already have? But in inquiring to find out why we are choosing to stay there, we don't get attached to those thoughts. We don't get attached to those feelings. We simply inquire, this is curious. And then we breathe and we work towards letting go. We might notice the emotion or the thoughts first, or we might notice the body, the physical connection first. We might notice our energy levels first. But whatever we notice is sending us a message. Sometimes that message is just a whisper. Sometimes the voice is a bit louder, just really calling us out. And at other times, it is screaming at us. The louder the voice, the more attention we need to give it. But not in a way of attachment, instead a way of curiosity. As we access our inner wisdom. And as we access that inner wisdom, we open our hearts to possibility. That possibility exists, and when we use our hearts to open to it, to bring compassion from our hearts to ourselves and often to others, that heart-centered awareness will bring us to safety. It brings us to a place where we can see more clearly, not hindered by thought and emotion, not hindered by that low vibration. Instead, we are open. We are open to freeing ourselves from the binds or the chains or the prisons that we have created for ourselves. We hold the key. And while we sometimes feel some level of comfort in those challenging times, for whatever reason, it's important for us to let go. To let go and let be. When we let go and let be, the answers come to us. And instead of pushing the answers away or resisting the answer, we sit with them in our minds, our hearts, our spirits, not attached, not ruminating, simply sitting and inquiring. And the more we do that, the clearer the answer will become. Letting go and letting be allows a light to shine on where we can go next. Sometimes we see it in our mind's eye when we are still. Sometimes we actually see the answer. And at other times, it's an image or a feeling that may require more stillness to make the answer become clearer. But those answers are there. And we can choose. So this morning we'll sit in choiceless awareness. The choice to be aware of whatever is coming into our hearts, our minds, or our bodies. Always knowing that we can let go and let be. And if our minds in this choiceless awareness start to wander, or we start to get attached or ruminate, we know we have the power to go back to the breath. So for the next little while, allow yourself to sit with that choiceless awareness and just to imagine or to see or be aware of what is coming up. And when you notice, you remember not to be attached, not to ruminate, but to go back to the beauty of the connection of breath and energy within you. So we will sit in stillness until you hear my voice again. May your mind find peace and be still. May your heart be open to compassion and empathy and freedom. May your body be healthy and well.